I am now better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I got a special place. I tell you all the birds, where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMVA 88.9 FM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Take yourself over on YouTube at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton, which is our newest platform over there. And Crystal Records One, Cristo Records One. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
You promise?
We promise. Go over there right now and see if we don't shout you out immediately.
That's it.
Look who's here. Miss Sheila Robbins. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And you all on Instagram and all the other platforms. We look forward to seeing you up here. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. E, is fun Friday.
You know, I can't wait to Friday to get here. I am so energized, so excited because I know what the content is all about.
Oh my goodness, do you really? You sure I didn't do a switcheroony on you?
Well, I hope that we normally talk about issues concerning y'all women.
Well, this is our FYI Friday segment. What's in your closet, honey? Issue concerning us.
Yeah.
But we have to pause because we have some breaking news. Took place on yesterday, Mr. E.
Breaking news.
Ooh, breaking news, trending stories. I tell you what, we got to get at it because we're going to open the phone lines today. We want to find out your opinion, whatever it is.
That's right. That's right.
It could be for, against. It could be you may be appalled, happy, sad, shouting. You may have dropped over the sea or something. You might have tried to drown yourself. Who knows? We're going to find out. Mr. E, what happened on yesterday?
Well, what happened yesterday, former President Donald Trump is found guilty on 34 felony counts.
34? All 34?
34 felony counts. 34, not 31, not 32, not 27, not 12, nor 2. But he was found guilty on all 34 felony count.
Let's hear the story.
And
Mr.
he's
E.
the first
Oh my God, he
time.
made history.
That's right. A former sitting U.S. president has been convicted of a criminal charge.
Oh my God, that's deep.
That's
deep.
right. That's right.
Convicted.
Convicted. He done been impeached twice.
Ooh.
Now he done been impeached twice, and now he's the first former president that has been convicted of a criminal charge.
This is this is the first time a former sitting U.S. president is convicted. The jurors said they unanimously
agreed.
Hold up now. Unanimously, it was a group of a mixed multitude.
That's right.
Men, women, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, all kind of folk, all kind of mixture of folks that sat there, his peers, and you telling me they convicted this man of 34 counts?
From 34 counts.
34. But you know what was so crazy, Mr. E? I sat there and looked because, everybody was thinking that this thing would go on a little bit longer. It went on pretty good as far as, the deliberation. But people, it's going to be another day and this, that, and the other. And honey, somebody made the announcement that they had come to a decision.
Miss Hinton, when I began to look at this whole thing in a nutshell and found out the status of him, I found out that 34 counts in Trump hush money trial. See, a lot of people think that Donald Trump is a Superman. They think that he is the bomb. He is the deal. He's the dealio. He don't have to abide by the law. But you know what I found out yesterday? I found out that the law abide by the law.
Nobody's above it.
Nobody is above the law and the ordinance of the United States. It wasn't a witch hunt. It wasn't nothing totally different than what he said it may be.
And his own self, because he got himself in this mess.
Got him 34 charges against him.
What are some of the counts? I mean, people say 34, but 34, tell us some of the things.
11 out of 11 was charged with legal service. With
legal services.
Of legal services.
Ooh.
34.
Records, business records,
That's
and
right.
whatnot.
That's right. Then there was another 11 out of 11 messing with them checks. You cannot write checks if you ain't got no money in the bank. You cannot.
Was it that, or was he giving that money away to somebody to help him to do what he did? You were giving that money away, and you had somebody else write the checks for you. And when he wrote the checks for you, he kept copies of the check because he knows going to be some heat down the road. I'm just so puzzled at why he felt the need to go on and just pay off these folks. He wanted to win the election, and why did he just let it come out? Do you think it would have made a difference? Because the thing about it, these folk that's for him, I don't care if he said he could shoot somebody in the head and they wouldn't care. They would want him as the leader if he murdered folk. They don't care. And I'm saying, well, why did he care if the porn, I don't know if we can say that. Why in the world would he care if he could, like he said, go and shoot somebody in the street and get away with it?
Well,
he should have been able, if he could do all that, he should have been able to get away with it.
He should be,
but he couldn't.
That's right. He should be able to get away with every charge there is.
What else? And you have the ledger entries for legal expenses.
That's right, and legal expenses.
It was so many counts.
Money.
But did you expect some of those counts to be not guilty? Did you personally expect?
Well, I did not expect any of the accounts to be not guilty. No.
I mean, you felt like all the counts would be guilty.
I felt that all the counts were guilty because, and the reason why, there's a reason for that, is because you cannot, as the president of the United States, the qualification that you are, you cannot go around pushing your way around town, thinking that you can do whatever you want to do, and especially when you don't pay attention to detail.
Well, I tell you what, he felt like he could. You know, when you don't have that political thing around you, that hedge around you, your party
That
around
doorkeeper,
you,
yeah,
then you can't. You know, they can't cover up and cloak and carry on because now you in the law. This is the law. This is the state. This is New York. And you have to abide by the rules and regulations. And I don't care who you are in the party or in Congress or whatever, you couldn't get them out because it's not about politics at this point.
that's right.
You know, when they did the impeachment and all that stuff, Mr. E,
Two times.
they could go ahead and do what they wanted to do, and they did.
Yeah.
They, all the evidence in the world,
Yeah.
and they said, well, hey, we'll overlook that and just keep on moving. So, okay, we had to accept that. But this is another thing that I'm curious about, Mr. E. If people that are for Trump, why why didn't they vote him in with Biden? If you're so powerful, if you can shoot people and do all kind of things to folk and get out of trouble and take women and do whatever you want, how come those very same people did not help him to get back in when he ran against Biden before?
Ms. Hinton, here's my take on that. Everybody, let me pause and rewind. There's a gatekeeper for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you don't treat your gatekeeper right, your wall fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And so bits and pieces of his wall begin to crumble down because the people that you thought was your gatekeeper begin to, don't make your gatekeeper mad.
But they could do that. That's politics.
But they begin to talk.
People, I know folks are wrapped up in politics and all this foolishness. But that's politics. That's just one area of, what we do in this country. You still have the law, the rule of law and things like that. And nobody is above
right.
law. Like you said, your gatekeepers, those that hedge you, can't help you.
That's right.
By this time. You got to come before your peers now, and they're going to determine by evidence whether or not you are guilty or innocent. And this is another thing. This is not the first. Now this is history making. But the man been guilty. The man owed the state over $400 million. He had SA'd a few women, and they brought out the tape about all that he's done. Let me say something, Mr. E. Whether some people know it or not, maybe the youngins don't know, but this man been doing this all kind of stuff since the beginning of time, child.
Well, Ms. Hinton, he's been doing this and been getting away with it, and he had folks cover up for him. And see, what I mean by gatekeepers, when you stop treating your gatekeepers good, then you're like Michael Cohen. He was his gatekeeper. He was his right hand. He was his paperwork man. He kept everything in order. When he had to be the fall guy.
He was the fall guy.
And because he was the fall guy, now he had to pay the cost to be the boss. And he said, I had to steal from this man to get my money. I had to take from this man to get what I need. So let me tell y'all what's going on behind closed doors.
Well, we're going to talk about all those that are on his way down, who he has to face. In the meantime, who brought the charges?
Well, the charges that brought down was that judge,
Who brought the charges?
The people brought the charges.
It was
the people.
Mr. Bragg. His name is Alvin Bragg, New York District Attorney of the state of New York brought the charges. And who was the judge?
Well, Judge
Juan
somebody.
And then the jurors are 12
of different people.
All of a mixed multitude.
That's right.
Of your peers.
There was housekeepers, salesmen, the whole 9 yards that was there.
We're going to open the phone lines in a minute. I want to shout out Angela Hayes Crump, Annie Solario, thank you. Annie for joining us, Sheila Robbins. Those that are on, thank you so much. Make sure you say something in the chat. We want to know what you think. Those that are in the chat, we're going to open the phone lines. But those that are in the chat, we want to know your opinion. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We can talk about it. If you for him, that's fine. If you're against him or whatever, that's fine. But nobody's scared here.
That's right.
And so let's go ahead and let's have a good conversation. those that are on the chat, and then in a little while we're going to open the phone line. In the meantime, Mr. E, we want to talk about some of of the past a little bit. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the past sins. We already talked about E. Jean Carroll. We already talked about over there where they charged him 400 and something million. We've talked about this, and we've talked about being a conspirator with Giuliani and all these folks. I mean, the list is long and long, but it goes long and long and longer. But let's go way past this, and let's go to what happened years ago in New York with the Central Park Five.
You talking about Donald Trump and the Central Park Five?
Absolutely.
The racially charged
rise.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about?
I'm talking about that.
In 1989, 5 Blacks and Latino boys were wrongfully convicted of raping a woman jogging in New York.
Essay.
Huh?
It's politically correct essay. You can't say that R word.
Oh, I can't say that.
Social media.
Okay.
Essay.
Okay. Leading the charge against them was a real estate mogul.
Yes.
Yeah, who diversity can be found in his presidential campaign today.
Ooh.
What you think?
What I think it was he was instrumental in really putting the fire under this of these 5 young men who found themselves
at 15 years old.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, such young ages. Salon was 15 years old when Donald Trump demanded his execution for a crime he did not commit.
They did not commit this crime, but it was fueled. And we're not going to go through the whole story because we have other things to talk about, but fuel that. My point of bringing this up and other things is the fact that this is a journey of this type of thing. Even back here, Mr. E, in this story, in this news story, it talks about how he talked about other countries.
That's
and
right.
How they were the same rhetoric that we're hearing in this day and time was happening back then. And he had the motive to want to run for president. He wanted to get himself in there. And it is just surprising, Mr. E, how it's all still playing out the same way. We're going to go to the phone lines.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm trying to talk to Pastor Ed Everett.
Can you call me after you talking to him? Go ahead.
Oh.
Is this about...
Yes, ma'am. Is this about this case?
Yes, about the case. But what I want to ask you, I'm surprised they didn't make you one of the jurors because you know everything about the case.
Oh, don't even just to know it all.
Why you say that didn't need to make me one of the jurors?
You know everything about everything. You should have been one of the jurors on the case.
Thank you so much.
Bye. I like that. Mr. Know-It-All. But I tell you what, you don't have to know nothing. All you got to do is go to the news and find out what's going on. Good morning. Let's see who else is on the line. In the meantime, Mr. E, like I said, some of this stuff was playing out back then. You know, his MO, his journey, what he was doing is still just like repetitious. It's still, his MO is right there, how he do things.
That's right. That's right.
And so, in this story about the young men, he fueled that and he just engaged in it so much. He was going to tear him down by any means necessary, put an article about these young Black men, and it was just appalling. Then we go to, like I said, when it was time to run against, the other candidates, Hillary Clinton wanted to jail her, put her in all the he paraded women in front of her, and they said that her husband had been with. It was just appalling. But like you said, you still got that element of people that will follow him. If he shoots somebody in the street, he said, he still got his following.
You know, Ms. Hinton, I look at it like this. Why they couldn't rescue him of these charges? And he still got to go to court.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to open the phone line. Mr. E, give them the number.
757-624-9475. That's the telephone number today. Let's hear your intake. What you think about the former president of the United States making history of being the first president to be convicted of a felony.
Well, let's see who he got to look in the face after all this. First of all, we just mentioned Hillary Clinton. I know she's sitting back there like, who going to jail now? Because he's going to be sentenced in July 11th. Whether he goes to jail or not, we don't know. That's still up to the courts. But Hillary Clinton, former President Obama, former President Clinton, who else he got to look in the face of? The ladies that...
He got to look at Hillary.
He got to look at Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen,
and
all those folks in his party.
That's right.
He got to look at a whole lot of folks coming down.
You know, Miss Hinton, when it comes to politics is not a great game. Politics is a rough. They throw mud, they sling everything. If your backyard ain't clean, if you got some
even if it is clean,
that's right.
That's a terrible game, that political world,
if
right?
you got some skeletons in your closet, or if they gonna make up stuff, they're gonna go all the way back to your high school days and find something that you did wrong and make up stuff about you or assume that you did it wrong. But you know, Miss Hinton, when I began to look at this case, I said to myself, you know, who made him? Who made him invincible? Who made him to the point that he thought that he can say what he want to say, do what he want to do, when he want to do? And then, like one of our folks on Facebook said, if it had been Obama, speaking Obama couldn't even get out the White House and finish his tour. For Trump was around there trying to evict him, put him out so him and Michelle couldn't have their last walk through the White House. But she said that if that was Obama, they would crucify him.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, he is now known as a convicted felon.
Right.
Even though he's going to continue his run for the White House, still, you know, it has really put the brakes on a lot of things. I don't know how many folks he's going to lose in dealing with all the cases and stuff like that. I know a few people are jumping ship. But, you know, what does it mean as we go forward? July 11th, Mr. E, they're going to come down with the sentence. Of course, he's going to appeal it. And it's just going to be a whole lot of drama. At 11 o'clock, he's going to be out there. He has a press conference at 11 today. This is the thing about, we found out about him. And this is not alleged, they have counted how much, this is a compulsive liar.
Right.
They have counted so many lies that this man, that comes out of his mouth. And so what we can expect from him, when he comes out today, probably he's going to add to the number.
Well, you know, he said he got all the African-American votes because, you know, they like tennis shoes.
Right. Like tennis shoes.
They like tennis
shoes.
And
now he said he can really relate to y'all black people because why? Because y'all felons and crooks and criminals.
That's right, because he's saying that all African-American, all black folks are felons, are crooks and criminals. Now, do you think for 1 second that those who have been convicted of felonies should be released?
Well, at least they should be able to run for president.
They should be. That's the qualifications now. What is the qualification? I want somebody to give me a call at 757-624-9475. Answer this question. What is the qualification of a president?
Well, Mr. E, did you know that he can vote for himself if he doesn't go to jail?
That's right.
If he doesn't go to jail, he's convicted, and they may give him time, but he got to go to jail first to be able not to vote for himself.
You know,
so we're going to see
for a former. You know, Ms. Hinton, this thing that disturbs me so much, and when we look at our young folks who says that they want to be presidents of the United States, they want to be astronauts and things of that nature. What does it take for them and the qualification for them to be a president of the United States, especially when the former president or sitting U.S. president has been convicted of criminal charges? Is that what makes a president?
I guess this one we're going to see because folks still talking about voting for him. You got Republican Party.
34 felony charges.
Trying to hedge him, even though they can't.
Touch women to do what they want to do.
He can do whatever he wants to do.
And say what he wants to say to anybody. Call all the shots when he wants to. And thinking that he's above the law.
Well, that's been proven wrong, y'all. He is not above the law. Now let's see what happens because you have the Supreme Court, Mr. E. They want to chime in. He wants them to chime in and say you cannot be charged. You immune. You gonna get out of this. This is what he wants to be said by the Supreme Court, and everybody looking at side eye at the Supreme Court now because they see there's some shadiness allegedly in the Supreme Court. They're trying to figure out, wait a minute, what's kind of all this kind of crooked stuff going on, or things that appear to be crooked. And so, we're looking at this system. But one thing we found out about this case on yesterday, no one is above the law. You've got to go through those channels of the law and the courts. And the thing about it, who else is getting away with stuff? I mean, we have so many people we've had so many Black people and Black men in jail that been put there and throughout the years, and injustice, and folks can sit back and allow someone to do this, but look at those that have been unjustly incarcerated and don't think not one thing about it. It's like whatever. But you got this one person that have the minds of these folk, and they are sitting back and continuously just going along with this foolishness instead of taking a stand against right. These folks still want to play all this political stuff. And I'm telling you, the courts have spoken. Let's see what else happens. And that's all to it.
Do you think Trump liked the judge that was on the trial, even though he's born and raised in Colombia?
Well, he said, look where he's from.
The border folk.
He said, look at the border folk. He said the border folk say they criminals. I mean, let's listen to this rhetoric here. What he say? He said the man come from some bad stuff.
That's right. He came from Bobby Gata, Colombia. Born in Colombia, grew up in Queens, and was the first in his family to attend college.
Oh.
A catch and kill scheme. And Trump, key trial moment. Trump compared himself to Mother Teresa as Judge Wade faced. Mother Teresa. When the verdict come down in Donald Trump criminal hush money trial, all eyes will be on Manhattan Judge Juan, who has presided over the historical case. After all, Trump was the first U.S. president, former or present, to face criminal trial. And before Trump faced a jury in this case, Merchant oversaw other procedures directly tried to presumptive GOP president candidate. These cases included tax fraud against Trump Organization and process against the former company CFO Alan Weisberg. Merchant also will preside over the case against Stephen Bannon over allegations that a far-right Trump strategy cheating thousands of who donated to build sections of the U.S.-Mexican border.
Ooh, it's a mess. Now, I'm trying to figure out if all these folks that testified were supposed to be a part of him and his party, why did they turn on him and all this kind of stuff? We got quite a few people that testified in this case. The defense, I'm not sure if they had, but maybe one person that testified in behalf of the all the information and things that the state board. It was just overwhelming. But as far as the defense, Mr. E, why didn't they just try to put on a better case and a harder case and put him on the stand to defend himself?
If he had all the chances to talk for himself. He had every chance to get up there on the stage and to defend himself. Yes. But he chose not to.
Well, I tell you what, he can start defending himself because there is not just this 34. I'm telling you, you got about 50-something more charges in other states. You have with Fonnie Willis and other folk that's taking place now. But I tell you what, come over here for a few minutes. We'll talk a few seconds and we're going to serve that tea and give you some upcoming shows. Be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend.
Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's new one, been on the market about 2 months now. Make it right. For the past 30, make it all right. For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, WMVA 88.9 Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400, and on all social media platforms. Don't forget to have a wonderful weekend, and don't forget that today is the first day of hurricane season. Yeah, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.
One thing we know, Mr. E, no matter what's going on, no matter who's in charge, God is the one who has the say. You know, he makes the world go round. He sets the stage for everything. The stage is set for all what we're going to do, what all man going to do. God knows the beginning and the ending of all this stuff. But please don't sit back and just keep your mind on all this political junk and all this stuff. Keep your heart and mind on the things that's right to do. And the Bible says, on things that are good report, things that are right, things that are sweet, lovely, and all that kind of stuff. Don't get yourself bogged down with all this politicking and all this crooked.
That's right.
We've known crooks before this crook. We've known folk to do wrong before anybody else, you know, before now. This is the way the world is. We live in a world of good and evil, and it is what it is. Don't get yourself bogged down. You fighting and carrying on and cutting up and want to fall out dead, get under the bed, shaking all over all this political crap. Listen. Let the law do what it do. If he go to jail, he go to jail. If he don't, it's his peers and all of them, they going to handle all that. The judge going to handle all that. And you all keep doing what you doing. Be productive. Just continue to build good assets. Teach your children right from wrong. You just go ahead and live your life to the best of your ability and try not to get ensnared with a whole lot of things, you know.
And that's the way it's supposed to be, Miss Hinton. Don't get caught up in a whole bunch of stuff that's not supposed to be done wrong. Get yourself caught up in the right way. Teach your children how they're supposed to live and how to conduct themselves. You know, Miss Hinton, we want to say congratulations while we're on this to a 12-year-old boy, Simone, who won the 96 National Spelling Bee.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the spelling bee has changed this year, and still they are doing it a speed way now.
Okay, tell me how this, because I didn't get a chance to see it. I usually like to look at.
It's how many seconds how many minutes, how long does it take you to spell one word?
Ooh.
And this young man, he was 12 years old, and he won that spelling bee with 3 small spelling bee victories already under his belt. In 2024, the 12-year-old from St. Petersburg, Florida, won the big prize Thursday by defeating a fellow 12-year-old boy in a spelling bee spell-off.
He said, my heart was pumping so fast when I realized I won, Soma said. I had a good feeling I would win because I did pretty good. But yeah, you never know. I couldn't absorb the moment yet. I love those spelling bees.
And then he turned around and said, with the organization calling the spelling off to determine a winner follow with 14 rounds over 3 days at the national championship, Soma spelled 29 words correctly in 90 seconds.
Absolutely. So we'll tell you what, Mr. E is trying to steal some
90 seconds.
Look, along with what's going on, again, at 11 o'clock, you all check it out and listen to what Trump is going to talk about. But along with that, there's some other things locally. You all make sure you check out the news and what's going on locally. Also in entertainment with the Diddy thing, this is getting serious. And you all can remember last week, the drama and all that going on with the tape that they had in the hotel of him stomping and carrying on. And then his confession of, how broken he is and how terrible his life is. He needs to get himself together. All that is still going on, y'all. But guess what? There are other cases that are coming up, and there are other folk that are saying that this man has been abusive.
That's right.
And then Biggie, mama, is
Biggie,
out
Biggie,
saying,
Biggie,
what in
can't
the
you
world?
see?
She said she's really ashamed of what, what Diddy is doing. And, she feels as though he should apologize to the young lady. No, I don't think the apology, okay, she got the money. I don't think apology is going to get those wounds healed. She's going to have to heal and, just come to grips with, this terrible life that they had together. And he's going to have to come to grips. I don't know what's going to happen to him. They feel like he's going to be another R. Kelly.
You know, Miss Biggie, Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom,
Mm-hmm.
she's reacting to the allegations and the footage of Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
She said in an interview on May 30th, during the conversation, the 71-year-old explained that she has seen the surveillance footage
Oh.
of Diddy assaulting his then girlfriend Cassidy in the hotel lobby in March 2016. She said, "I'm praying for Cassidy. I'm praying for his mother." She said,
Cassidy.
"I don't want to believe the things that I heard, but I seen the hotel video and I prayed that he apologized to her."
Oh, wow. Well, I tell you what, like I said, I don't know if that's going to do it, an apology, but I tell you what, he's got other charges just like Trump. He's going to be facing, they said, and he's going to give an account. It's something in this Me Too world, Me Too movement that, things are coming out about these, extreme cases and all this abuse and foolery and stuff like that. And, I'm hoping that it will bring a change in the generations, now and to come, that you can't handle, women and relationships, because not only do men abuse women, but women abuse men too. We're hoping that it will bring a change in how people are dealing with one another.
That's right. You know, Miss Hinton, this abuse that we got going around, it's one thing to be mentally abused. It's another thing to be physically abused, but to come up in that environment with that happening in front of the children. Where is the respect? The gun violence on every hand, people taking videos of everything that is done like it's supposed to be done. It's a normal thing. As I began to look at this article about Mother Wallace, which is Biggie's mom, she said, well, it made her sick to her stomach. Yeah. And she said the next time she see him, she gonna slap the daylights out of him. She said, "I hope that I see Sean one day, and the only thing I want to do is slap the daylights out of him," she stated. And you can quote me on that because I like him and I don't want to believe all this awful things, but I'm so ashamed and embarrassed.
Well, you saw it for yourself. People were trying to second guess and, he's our friend and he's wonderful. Don't let the gift always get in the way. The gift, he got this great gift, but look what he's doing, just like R. Kelly. He's the greatest songwriter, and he was, and he did have some great music, and he was putting out things that we could really, embrace and adore. But what was going on in his life that was against the law and against, moral code and things like that. And so people can't sometimes wrap themselves around the two things. They always, want to go for, well, he's a great singer. Well, baby, he's a great singer, but he's doing all kind of stuff to people. He's doing all kind of things. Did y'all know that? He's doing things against the will of some. And that ain't no lie. The man is in jail right now and can't get out.
That's right.
But people are still caught up in the gift. Gift comes without repentance. You can have a gift and be the worst tyrant in all the world. Let's get over this gift crap and let's sit back and say, wait a minute, can we trust our children with these people? In all kind of, in the entertainment world, in the sports world, in politics. Can I hand my children just over to anybody? And that's the problem. We are handing our youngins over to anybody. We don't care because they're supposed to be the greatest thing since Campbell soup.
And we thinking that they got it going on because they're so polite. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and yes, we're gonna take good care of. They show you one side, but then they become a Dr. Jekyll on the other side, you know.
And people can't, the thing about it, the bad thing about it, Mr. E, people still can't pull themselves away from that
That's
person
right.
because of that gift.
And then they take money.
That's the thing.
And when they give you money, when you see so many people are broke in this world, that's because they try to get out of whatever they're going through, and they figure that this man gave them a great big lump sum of money for the talent of your child. You just prostituted your child. You just sold your child for whatever the amount may be, and now you don't believe that the person, your child screaming out, help, 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 and you don't believe that this guy behind closed doors has taken advantage of your child.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why some parents are doing. They going in the studio with their child. They're hanging around the studio with their children. Everywhere they're going with them.
I tell you what, that's a lot of tea. We got some local tea that's taking place. You all Google some of this stuff. You all keep up with what's going on, but don't get so attached where you begin to be full of anxiety and frustrated and carry on. Just understand that this is the world that we live in, but you've got to do the best you can to do better, be better. And it's a process. You know, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. We all have things to grow out of and do better with. Nobody's judging like we can't do wrong. But I'm saying I don't care who you are, you're gonna give an account of what you have to do, even in this world or before the Lord. You're gonna have to come before the judgment and find out and look. And the book is gonna be open, and we're gonna see. If you and God gonna see what you've been doing and how you've been handling life. It's just a sad situation, how things are playing out in certain areas, but we can do better. We can have a great life more abundantly, and that's what we can work on, regardless of what comes and what goes.
That's right. That's great, Ms. Hinton. You said a mouthful right then and there that we can get better. We can make it right because we are the world. We are the people. And in us lies good and evil. And because we got good and evil, must recognize that Siamese twin that goes with us day in and day out. Everywhere we go, we make one good decision. They make the twin jump up and make a bad decision.
The folks got an angel on one side, the devil on one side. We are both good and evil, but we have to develop and build assets to be better people.
That's right.
But this is what I want you all to do. Make sure you're not in denial of what you see. You know, see what you see. See what you're hearing. Make sure you know that this is what you're hearing. You can't sit back and believe the lies of somebody that is a compulsive liar who lies and will lie. You know, the Bible talks about deceiving the very elect if possible. Don't be one of those that is deceived. Be the elect that maybe you may not know it all, but you know truth when you hear it. You know truth when you see it. You know you can discern lies and foolery and ungodliness when you see it.
That's right.
And so you won't be deceived and go down the wrong road. It says that the blind will lead the blind. There are so many people that want to be blind about so many different situations, Mr. E, and they going right down, they going right in the ditch.
All in the pit.
They going right in the pit. But anyway, this is Fun Friday. I'm getting ready to go have some fun. I hope you all have some fun. We will serve tea as we get it. Breaking news, trending stories, and all that. And probably next week, we're going to come back with a really great topic. I got a topic I want to share with you all on next Friday. And we'll see how it turns out.
Well, just before we say bye-bye, Miss Hinton, I want to drop this tea on everybody.
Let's get it.
And here it is. The tea is the wolves are going home.
Oh, Lord, this is sports. See, Mr. E, though, he better wait. That's our upcoming show on Sports Talk. Mr. E has already predicted that the daggone Timberwolves are going to get on out of here.
They gone.
Oh, they're going to be gone. They're gone.
They packed up their bag last night and left the arena. Oh. So the show off now for the basketball playoff is going to be Boston against Dallas.
I told you that Boston was going to be. Did I say that? I said that.
You did say it.
But anyway, we're going to keep enjoying that. Meet us back on Monday for Sports Talk. FYI After Dark. What's Under the Hat is coming up on Wednesday. And on Friday, What's in the Closet? We got a great topic. We want you to make sure you call in and share with us.
And don't forget,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, don't forget that you can register for Bill God.
Oh my goodness, yes, please.
Don't forget that you can register for Bill God. All you have to do is call 757-714-7861, or you can call
757-285-8266 and register. We want to make sure we have a great, big, wonderful participants, a list of participants for this wonderful, wonderful package. And before, we give it away, we're going to bring that package back, let you see how lovely it is. The owner is Mr. Chris Hinton. Go to www.beardgods, BEARDGODZ.com and order your items, order your package for Father's Day or for any special occasion. But anyway, Mr. E, it's been a great time. So much going on, but we're going to continue to live and have a wonderful, wonderful time. You all make sure you enjoy your weekend and get back here Monday at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you, Silla Green. Have a good day. And to all of you that's right here with us, have a wonderful day. 2 up, 2 down. For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. 45 minutes. That's FYI Radio Show. And for more information, give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. And if you're on Facebook and want to inbox us, go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, and let us know you'd like to be a special guest, a sponsor, or intern. Now, if you really want to be in the audience of FYI, just email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. We would love to pull you in and have you sit in our audience and applaud. And hey, as we do what we do, okay? Thank you.
God bless you all.
2 up, 2 down. And y'all looking for the A? There it is. When I put my thumb right there in the middle, that's the A, VA.
All right now.